Welcome into Peanut Butter and Triggered. I am Scott, joined by
Ben.
Hey, and I'm Jay Eastwood. What's up?
It is great to see you all. Well, actually, we don't see you, but it's great that you are hearing this, including Javad.
Man, that's one name I haven't heard in the last 2 weeks.
Where we have here at Peanut Butter and Triggered, we talk a lot of entertainment things, and we thought it was fun last time talking about mafia movies. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about action movies. It should be pretty dope.
Yeah, so we got action movies, and we got a little bit of news, and then, Ben, can you think of anything else that we're missing?
Not at this time.
Oh, great!
Well, just how everything always starts.
Shitty.
We're going straight into news. Have you guys heard about the culling 2?
No.
You say that word weird. Culling. Is that the word? I keep thinking you're saying calling.
C-U-L-L-I-N-G.
The culling.
Culling. C-U-L-L-I-N-G.
The McCulling.
Like you're culling.
What's up?
Anyway.
What is this?
So,
Culling.
Well, this is, I'll tell you.
Macaulay Culkin?
Quick, no, not Macaulay
Culkin.
A.K.A. Kevin
that would be
McAllister?
more fun than
Culling.
this one.
A.K.A. Richie Rich?
Keep yelling it. Culling.
A.K.A. the good son?
Culling. It's the culling. It's all the, what's his name? Macaulay Culkin movies when they come at you at once. It's the culling.
It sounds like an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
It's like a TBS Wednesday night special.
And the culling 2 is when the meth head version of Macaulay Culkin, the current version, shows
one.
up.
Meth heads, trash cans, and...
Anytime he says method.
No, he refers to himself.
Anyway, the Culling was a game that got released on Steam like 2 years ago.
Steam.
That was kind of hopped on the PUBG Fortnite bandwagon. Everyone dropped in and killed each other, blah, 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 blah. Well, basically, it was in early access. You could buy access, and the game was never released. Instead, the developer decided that they were going to completely let off and not finish that game, and they just started making the second one. So technically, the first one never came out, and they started development on the second one.
It's like Troll 2, the movie.
Exactly.
It has nothing to do with the first.
Well, the second one came out like 2 weeks ago, and it was absolutely catastrophic. It was 100-man servers. At most, people could get 1 or 2 other people, and after launch, it had a max player count of about 16. Well, a max of 300, but it was down to 16, and then they just closed it and said they're done with it, and sorry.
Why the fuck is it called the culling? What's a culling?
It's
probably why it failed. It's a dumb fucking name.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't know what it means, I'm not playing.
Who's calling ya?
Cat
would say.
pepperoni.
Who's calling?
That's pepperoni!
is to select from a large quantity or obtain from a variety of sources, is to cull.
Hey man,
Dumb.
you're at a really high level on Wordscape. You should know this.
I've called the words. I haven't called them. I've called them.
You got them there.
The calling.
Ooh.
But that was kind of interesting. So the guy who developed it came out, and it's actually kind of interesting. If you go watch the video, he's like almost crying, and he's like, "Hey, everyone at the studio is just really sad about this horrendous launch. Everyone hates the game.
Horrendous.
And we've decided to completely get rid of it." It's like, oh dang, man.
That's terrible.
Yep.
I feel horrible for him.
The next step, of course, our weekly news, No Man's Sky news.
God fucking damn it.
No Man's Sky has actually climbed back to half of its launch day player base.
That was good.
So, what are you saying?
No Man's Sky has actually taken a turn for the positive in the view of a lot of the reviewers.
I can hear Ben's eyes rolling.
Well, originally, everyone was really mad because basically they didn't deliver on what they promised, and now everyone's really happy with the studio because they say, in the face of adversity and how much shit they were getting, they actually released a quality product.
4 years later.
4 years later.
Fuck
correct.
you, No Man's Sky. It's over for you. Give up. Make another game. Just start over.
Why don't they just make another game? That would probably be the right answer.
Upon our foundation of turd.
If you guys would have been saying this a year ago, it'd be one thing, but they're like, success, they're most sales they've had in a long time. Just give up. It sucks.
Yeah, if it takes you this long to be successful, you're not a success. You suck. Move on.
Coming from the 9-year comedian or whatever it's been.
God, you get personal.
My pick, it sucks.
Are you friends with this guy? Coming from, let me attack your personal dreams for this guy I don't fucking know.
I'm just kidding with you. I actually think you're really
Sorry.
funny, so.
Everybody gave me a comment about how defensive I got last week. I disagree. This is just how I talk. Moving on.
next piece of interesting news. A Steam game called Abstract, something like that, disappears.
Wait, what is it called?
It's called, like, Abstraction, I think.
Oh, okay.
It disappears after users discovered that the game was using their hardware to mine Bitcoin. So basically, you'd play the game, and while you're playing the game, it was using your computer to mine Bitcoin.
That's smart. Why can't we just share? What's wrong with that?
Well, people didn't like that because basically other people were making money off their computer usage. So they blamed them, and they took it right off Steam, and now it's gone.
You know, I want to go back to that 9-year comedian comment. Jerry Seinfeld, he's like a 45-year comedian.
I know, I was kidding.
Are you insulting him?
No,
Should we get Seinfeld on the phone? I have his number.
Yeah.
1 second.
What's the deal with you making fun of Ben?
Jerry, thanks, man. Thanks for coming on.
I think it's my favorite Jerry Seinfeld bit is the one where he's like, where do all the handicapped people park at the handicap Olympics?
God damn it, Seinfeld.
You did not sound like Jerry Seinfeld at all.
I apologize.
All right, no tears.
I just always sound like Christopher Walken. Hey, what?
Wow.
Hey,
This
why we gotta?
All right.
Let's bring on Bill Cosby next.
That's fine.
He's still
Yeah.
relevant.
Hey, bring up Bill Cosby on the phone.
What about this is a sandwich? I don't say words when I imitate people. I just make noises like I'm seizuring out.
Everybody does that.
Okay.
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 Oh, loady,
Okay.
loady.
Next bit of news,
The last
please.
piece of news I have is actually kind of interesting. So the rumors of the new Xbox are actually coming to fruition.
Sorry.
There's the biggest rumor is the Xbox Scarlet is the code name, and there's going to be 2 of them. And this goes back to when we talked about what we would like to see out of a console, because apparently they'll have one that's a full-fledged console at regular price, $400 or $500, whatever that might be. The other one's going to be a streaming box, basically, that only has.
Why'd you laugh at that? That's serious, man. That's awesome.
This sounded silly.
The other one's going to be a more affordable, they're talking $150, $200 range box that actually streams the game directly to you, like we talked about, cloud gaming. And the interesting thing is, what they're saying is Microsoft put enough hardware in the cloud box, or whatever you want to call it, so it does things like hit detection or, important calculations that need to be done real time right there. And then the rest of it's done somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, I think that that's actually really exciting. I don't know why you scoffed at that. That's actually the future of gaming.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this future stuff. The stuff we have works. Stop automating my life, taking our jobs.
Go home, future.
Yeah. Ugh. The future is grim.
For some man.
Yeah, like me. I didn't go to college. I sucked.
What is with all this? What is it? Existentialism?
The streaming. Yeah.
What's up with all this negativity?
Oh, it's not negative. I'm just being honest. I don't think honesty should be
They've
considered
released
negative.
a new console every 5 years.
But now they're
in the past.
streaming. They're doing with Xboxes what they did with cable. I'm good. I has a box of
Why is
wine.
that a bad thing?
Because they're taking the fucking jobs. The monopoly.
They're coming for my kids.
Yeah.
You heard?
What? I don't get it. I don't get what you.
I don't like automation. It frightens me. We're humans. We're automating ourselves out of existence.
It's not
It's like that
automating
movie
it.
Terminator 2.
It's literally
When
not
will my
automatic.
streaming box become self-aware and kill me?
Skynet.
No.
I think
Xbox
that your regular
Scarlet.
Xbox has a higher chance.
Yep. You hear the do-do-do. That was me connecting dots. That was the sound you make when you connect dots. As a child, I found that out early.
I guess the Terminator movies just had it right.
Yeah, it started, literally the kid was playing Xbox. Next thing you know,
Sarah Connor.
I'm here for Sarah Connor.
this fitting because of our action theme.
Ooh.
That's why I was mentioning it.
Yeah. Wow. What a
Fuck you.
transition.
Fuck you.
I'm kidding. I am being negative. I'm sorry.
Anybody have any
Listeners,
other
I'm
news?
positive. I have stuff. Go ahead.
Do you guys have any other news? If not, that's totally fine.
No.
Okay.
I think
I
I'm
do
good.
not.
I think that just moves right into what we were talking about, which is our favorite action movies. And I think it's important to talk a little bit about what we characterize as action movie, because we talked a little bit about superheroes don't count.
Except for Logan. We're going to talk about Logan, right?
Except for Logan.
Because that wasn't really... I mean, it kind of was... It was a superhero movie, but...
Yeah. So we'll talk about that in a second.
So we're talking your Stallones, your Van Dammes, your Schwarzeneggers, your Willises, your
Will Smiths.
Cages, your Will Smiths.
iRobot, Independence Day.
Exactly. Then the other thing that we kind of nixed is war movies, like Saving Private Ryan or We Were Soldiers or any of those kind of movies. So war movies won't be in this discussion at all. Were there any other ones that we nixed? I can't remember. I think that's pretty much it. War movies.
The Fast and fucking Furious.
Yeah, Fast and Furious is a horrible movie.
A couple of our coworkers suggested we should talk about that.
What about fighting movies?
We didn't talk. I mean, I
Mortal
consider
Kombat?
that. I would consider
Mortal
those
Kombat,
action
Street
movies.
Fighter,
Fight Club.
Tekken.
I didn't plan to
Fight
put any of
Club.
those other, maybe than Fight Club up here.
What about Rocky?
Yeah, Rocky. Is that action? I don't think that's action.
What would it be?
packed.
What would you consider it?
a drama.
Sports.
It's a drama.
Movie?
The sports movie. It is pretty dramatic.
It's very dramatic.
It is.
Well, literally, that was not on our list.
Yeah, let's
here.
not do Rocky.
So
I don't remember Rocky.
I guess the first one I have here is what we were just talking about. Is Logan.
Logan.
Did you see it?
I saw it and I loved it.
Did you teary-eyed it?
Spoiler.
Did I what?
Spoiler alert! Just so you know, we're going to talk a little bit about these movies. If you haven't heard Logan, then I probably recommend not continuing.
Hey, I have a spoiler alert. If you haven't seen Logan or anything like that, we're going to be talking about it. So
Good job, Jose. I appreciate you doing that for us
Thanks, man.
and our listeners.
yeah, actually, we're going to be talking a lot of movies. So
Yeah, so I hope you've seen Die Hard.
I hope you've seen Rambo.
I love that one.
What's the period of time in which spoilers aren't allowed? It's got to be like a year, right? Okay.
I think a year gives
If you haven't seen it, and
Just
gonna say
don't
5
listen to
years.
podcasts that talk about commentary on pop culture and entertainment if you haven't seen
5 years? Are you kidding me?
No,
it. Fair enough.
So,
I haven't seen Game of Thrones. You guys give me shit about that all the time.
I don't give a shit about it ever.
That's different. That's a TV show, and this is a movie. So from what movie came out 5 years ago?
Oh, I'm just saying.
I can pull up a list.
Yeah.
Movies in the last 5 years. Let me
We'll have
go
our
over each of
listeners
them.
wait while we pull up a list. Just kidding. So, Logan.
Yeah, I think the most brutal depiction of Wolverine, which is what Wolverine truly is, I guess.
Superheroes in general, man. That movie was tough.
Well, I mean, it's about him becoming a human, not even a superhero anymore. He faces his own mortality as he's struggling with becoming human from a superhero.
Yep.
And kind of being a dad.
Yeah.
And-
He's always wanted that love in his life. Well, he won't admit it because he's a hard ass.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a hard
Well, I
ass.
mean, you have to be after all those years of people around you dying.
But, nah, I'd be all right.
Because he was born like in the Revolution,
Which revolution?
like the American Revolution.
The French one, the American one?
What?
The disco era?
Yeah, disco sucks.
It's okay.
Like the 1770s? Or,
Really?
Yeah.
What? I didn't see any of the other ones, his backstory.
So he was born like in the 1770s.
Did he fight in the war?
Yeah, he fought in like all the wars. So he fought in like the Revolution. I think he fought in the Revolution, the Civil War. He fought in World War I and World War II, and then Vietnam. He fought a lot in Vietnam. So, I mean, he's been around for a long time. You'd probably be a hard ass if like you'd seen so many people die around you, your friends.
Probably.
I already am a hard ass, so whatever.
Thought you mean
Just
soft
fanny
ass.
packs.
Yeah, you were a fanny pack.
You're a soft ass.
You soft and baby shit. That's on a movie. I forgot what movie.
I've never heard that expression.
It was on a movie. I think it was
Softer
This Is
than
the End.
baby
He's like,
shit?
we softer than baby shit, man. It's Craig Robinson. Yeah, that's it. We softer than baby shit.
Oh man,
So-
that almost like,
you think
that
Logan-
should almost be an action movie.
That was pretty good. It
was great.
But we won't talk about that one.
Yeah.
You think was he on the right side of history in the Civil War?
I think so. Yeah, I think he's a good guy.
It would suck if you were racist and you have to go through all these years of progression. You're like, God
It
damn
was the
it.
Revolutionary
Civil
War.
rights.
Yeah, you're
Logan
like,
does
what
the
the
civil
fuck
rights.
is going on? I
think-
fought against this.
Isn't that what you struggle with?
Sure. We're not going to go, please, no more West Virginia.
Yeah.
Let's not do that on this episode. We've done enough.
And the interesting thing is if you actually watch his history, the claws he grew used to be bone.
Yeah. And the only reason he had the metal claws is because the adamantium was grafted to his bones.
Exactly.
So
Dang, that must have hurt.
yeah,
It
trust
was-
me from
yeah.
experience.
The adamantium grafting's really horrible.
Got it in my toenails.
But yeah, I mean that's a really good movie.
Sorry.
You're fine.
So I mean, if it was me, I would even grade it better than, and this is again kind of like a gray line between like superhero movies and action movies. I'd grade it better than Deadpool 1. I know that everybody loved the first Deadpool, but I thought that Logan was so much better because there was much more depth involved with the storytelling, and then at the same time, it's purely about several different levels of humanity.
And we see a lot of death. We see Professor X dying. You see Logan dying.
Yeah.
And
that
so
part made me cry. Legit. I teared up.
Yeah.
You're crying right now.
I know. I'm thinking about it.
It was a good. I mean, it was a good thing, right?
That last line was dope because he looked at her and he goes, "So this is what this feels like," and you knew he finally felt love. That's sweet.
Or he knew death was feeling like.
Or he shit his pants right before he died.
Yeah.
That's what that feels like.
It's warm and squishy.
Weird.
Oh. He's been wondering since 1785 when Columbus came over.
Yeah.
I feel like your timeline's all sorts of off there.
He
bub.
discovered the ocean blue. 1982.
Well, if it was like the Revolutionary War, then he would have been alive like right around
Columbus?
Well,
is way
Columbus,
before that.
yeah, Columbus, that was way off.
1687.
But your date is correct on the Revolutionary War, like somewhere around there.
1775.
Yeah, but like in the 1780s, like Ben would be kind of like right in that ballpark.
Yeah.
Definitely not for Columbus, but for the Revolutionary War.
For sure.
For both. He came over, we started to fight. It was a wrap.
He's like, I found America, let's fight!
Kind of did.
There were British people and American people, and they're like, y'all should fight.
Well,
Which side was that? Was that British?
No, that was Christopher Columbus.
wait, do that again?
The Spanish guy.
Hey, y'all should fight.
Mate, Christopher Columbus.
Hey, Christopher.
I declare this America.
I just sailed a long way. I want some entertainment.
Hey, George Washington. The British say you're a bitch.
What's up with all them redskins?
Redskins.
It's red coats.
That's
That's what I said.
Oh, no, you're talking about the natives. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
dark
Racist
tone.
pitch.
Other thing about Logan, in Deadpool comparison, they were both rated off for very different reasons.
Yeah.
Satirical humor, breaking the fourth wall very inappropriately.
Yeah.
And then Logan was just brutal, was very violent.
Both did something new with the superhero genre we haven't seen. Like you said, Logan, very brutal, something new from the superhero genre that we haven't seen. And then Deadpool, very, very funny and dark. And
Breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
A lot.
If you consider where the origins of that story came along from, like the Old Man Logan comics, it was like really visceral, it was very carnal. So you did get to see like almost a direct depiction of what we saw in that series in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's great.
I think that was one of the better, I guess, pieces of justice that we got for a movie being adapted from a comic book.
Yeah, for sure. I think we'd be doing the fans a disservice if we did not briefly go over some of our favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger one-liners.
Oh, for shizzle, go for it.
What do you think, Scotty?
You're fired.
What movie was it from?
You told me.
Oh my god.
So that was from True Lies.
That's right.
The main bad guy is attached. He's got his belt or something wrapped around. No, it's like, he's got like his what do you call it?
It was a belt. Yeah, it was attached to a rocket on a helicopter.
On a jet.
That's what I said.
It might have been. No, it was a jet.
No,
it was for sure a jet.
It was like a Harrier.
Yeah, so it was sitting still.
And he looks at him, and the guy's like, ah. And he's like,
He points like right at a building.
like a baby getting held up in the air, just waving his arms. And he goes, "You fired." Whoosh. Shoots the guy right into a building, kills all his homies.
So of course he fires that. Yeah, that fires that rocket.
Very
he
direct.
kills the helicopter. He shoots a helicopter with it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good memory of everything but the name of the movie.
Yeah, I know. I know, of course, like the "Come with me if you want to live."
That's
Your
funny,
favorite
though.
one?
No, I like that one. It's classic.
I have a few favorites. One of mine.
It's not funny, but it's good.
All right, let's just name off all of our favorite ones.
So in Eraser, which is one of my favorite Schwarzenegger
Nice.
movies, he unleashes an army of crocodiles, and all these bad guys are getting eaten. Arnold's about to get bit. He pulls out his gun. He shoots it in the face. It dies, and he goes, "Your luggage." I love that one.
What about give me your keys to your motorcycle, your boots, and your clothes?
It's a good one.
What a demand!
Yeah. He's like, "We
And
come
the guy-
out, friend."
The guy just laughed at him, and then he puts a cigar out on his chest, and the woman's like mesmerized by the size of his penis.
I know. He walks in there butt naked.
Yeah, I mean, like we all do.
Ah. That's how you. We were talking about this today. This is how you get prepared to do Arnold Schwarzenegger voice. Yeah.
Cohagen, give the people air.
My probably favorite one is in Commando, which has got so many goddamn good lines. He kills Bennett, the main antagonist, puts a pipe through him that lets steam out, and he goes, "Hey Bennett, let off some steam."
Well, what about the one where he's like in that high-speed chase on that mountainside, and he was like, he said something along the lines of like "speed kills," and the guy's like flipped his Porsche, and he is like clearly dead, and he might have even been like smashed inside of the cabin.
Or when he's got the guy who's chaperoning him in the airplane, and he puts his arm around him to be like, buddy, and he snaps his neck. And then when the airline lady comes over, he's like, "Don't disturb my friend. He's dead tired."
Wait, I feel like we're just making fun of action movies now.
No, this is a segment of our favorite one-liners. They'll like it. Trust me. Trust me.
I'm trusting you right now.
I'm going to go over my last one from Commando.
Okay.
At the very end, he's murdered the entire island. Like, he killed everyone. Not one person out of the 1,500 people on that island could stop him. He's walking away, and the general's like, "Hey, man, you leave anything for us?" He goes, "Only bodies."
Wait, I think we would be really fucked up not to mention Total Recall. Sorry, we'd be really messed up not to mention Total Recall, where one of the dudes on Mars is like, "You have the nerve to show your face here," and then he's like, "Look who's talking." And this is a guy that has his like face like folded over on itself like 3 times. Yeah, it's not a tumor.
Nailed it.
Yeah,
he picked up on
just
it.
any time he goes, "Oh!"
He says fuck because he always goes fuck. Fuck.
What about this one? I'm the party pooper.
You got to preface what that came from, because he walks into this group of people partying, and he shoots a bunch of shit up.
Hang on, you don't do it. You should do it, because Ben had no idea which movie that came from.
I thought it was Last Action Hero.
Yeah, clearly wrong.
But I still knew the scene.
I can't remember what movie. I can't remember.
It was Kindergarten Cop.
Okay, then Ben, back to you.
It's been a minute since I've seen that.
And all these people are partying, and he comes in and starts shooting everything, and they're like, "Oh man, who are you?"
I'm the party pooper.
And then, I can't remember what movie it's from. I think it was one with Danny DeVito. I did like 3 with Danny DeVito, I think. Maybe not. Maybe just twins. But this guy's like on a motorcycle on the sidewalk, and he elbows him off the sidewalk, and they're like, "Geez, man, you really hurt him." And he's like, "I'm not the enemy. The concrete was his enemy." That's not the exact line, but it's something along those lines, and it was really tasty.
Well done.
Predator had a bunch of good ones.
What's that? He got 2.
Yeah, that's Jingle All the Way, though. It's not real action. He got 2.
It's turbo time.
Okay, so
Turbo Mental.
If we can just get Arnold Schwarzenegger out of the way, what are your favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger action movies?
Predator, 100% my favorite.
Wow. Okay.
I gotta be a Terminator 2.
Okay.
It's a good one. Terminator 1's better.
No, actually.
Hey, stop that.
When he shoots up the cops,
look out.
That scene's so dope.
Are you kidding me?
Hey, tell me.
Words out.
Look out. Tell me why Terminator. I was thinking Predator and Terminator at the same time. Tell me why Predator is your favorite Arnold movie or Arnold action movie.
As a kid, I treasured Aliens and Predator. I love the universe. I have so many comics. I have all the toys at my grandpa's factory.
Your grandpa's a factory?
Yeah, it's a factory. It's
Granddaddy Longlegs?
No, that's Papa.
But does toys?
Granddaddy Longlegs is dead. He's long gone.
Oh.
Papa is hopefully alive and well. I haven't called him in a while. But yeah, we had this giant tobacco farm. I grew up in Virginia, where tobacco is very popular in the southern part of the state.
It was a plantation?
Probably. What my Papa is racist. Sorry for anyone. He's not here, so we're not gonna. But yeah, there was a guy who got smushed by an elevator. It's haunted now. But my toys are haunted. They're probably terrified.
Have you seen this ghost?
No.
Have you heard this ghost?
I don't believe in ghosts, so I think
have you interacted with it?
Papa's full of shit.
Oh.
He says he heard it once, and it called his name.
Papa.
Anyway, Predator, I think it was cool because it took sci-fi, but I think, in my opinion, it was the first good sci-fi movie that turned sci-fi into an action movie. It was super badass. You had all these like really cool characters. You had Jesse the Body Ventura, the Indian guy who cut himself in a cool way, not like the sad way. he like cut himself to let the Predator know he was down. He's about it with the fight.
Yeah.
And then that one scene where he cuts the dude's arm off and the guy's arm's still shooting, and he's like circling around, and the guy's just like right through his chest. And the one-liners are great. What the fuck are you? You're one ugly. And then he grabs him by his neck. Motherfucker. Great scene.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
Dylan, you son of a bitch. And then the handshake. Pow!
Yeah.
And that's a meme now.
A good one,
Yeah.
That's a meme now.
It's on Mortal Kombat XL.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. I say that about everything in life.
Yeah.
Like, we had a flea the other day in our house, and I was like, if it bleeds, we can kill it. And my girlfriend was like, what?
So, Scott, tell me about Terminator 2
I think
being your favorite.
Terminator 2 was like the graphics on it, or the CG
Visual
or whatever,
effects.
were like crazy. That part where he gets hit with the liquid nitrogen and he's like melting. Also, Arnold Schwarzenegger is a good guy. Was really badass. And specifically, my favorite part of that is when the kid John Connor is
Nailed it.
Edward Furlong.
yeah is teaching him how to be like a cool guy.
Yeah.
So there's that one part.
Give me 5.
What happens?
Up high, down low, all that stuff.
Yeah, he's in the parking lot with like those two very 90s looking badass guys.
And
I don't remember what happens, but he beats the shit out of him, and he's like, dude, you can't just go around killing people!
Wasn't one of them Bill Paxton?
I don't
that
know.
was Terminator 1.
Yeah.
Terminator 1.
So, I think I remember what you're talking about.
'Cause
He tells him, like, he has to obey all of his commands and blah, 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 and then all of a sudden they get in an argument, and then he's screaming, and then these guys
That's
come
right.
up, these, like, big buff dudes come
they're
up and,
yo,
like...
kid, this guy messing with you? And then he, like, grabs the guy and
He says,
puts
take
the
a hike, dipshit.
Yeah, and he throws the guy on the car, and he goes to shoot him in the head, and the kid pushes the gun out of the way, like, at the last second.
Yeah.
And he's like, you can't go killing people!
So then he just, like, rips all the hair out of that guy's head and throws him to the concrete
Kind
or
of reminds
whatever.
me of the RoboCop scene a little bit.
The pavement was his enemy.
But that was a classic. Plus, there's a lot of cool guns, like that part where he's like shooting the grenade launchers, and he's like tear gas, boom, and it's just hitting the
There it
dudes in the
is.
chest.
Yeah, that's
Scott with the gun sounds. I do have to say, and people may disagree, I thought the ending was so corny when he thumbs up as he's being...
You better shut up.
He's
That's
being
my favorite.
melted.
That's my favorite gift to send.
This hurts like shit. Thumbs up.
It doesn't hurt him.
Goodbye.
It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, he's a robot.
He's showing the.
Well, how did he even
care.
do a thumbs up? He's all melted underneath. His hand's the only thing left.
No, he was melting.
Yeah, come on.
Stop
Cybernetic
it.
organism.
Hey, stop it.
I
Stop.
don't believe it. It's not
Stop.
real. It's not realistic.
Stop.
Linda Hamilton was hot though. What? Fuck
I don't.
you.
Yeah, I made a face. I don't think she's very
I don't
attractive.
either.
You guys are pussies.
I mean,
You
she
are.
goes and she starts shooting
Just
up
like
that
you're right.
one dude's family.
Wait, the best scene in that movie is when Miles Dyson's dying, and he's like this.
Oh yeah.
There's like a
He blows
YouTube
up.
clip. Yeah, there's a YouTube clip that repeats that scene on loop for like 10 hours. That's my brother's favorite
At the
scene.
end of the 2 hours, does he actually let
He's
go?
like, I don't know how much I can hold this for. It's great. Yeah.
What's
Another.
your favorite movie? Your
My
favorite?
personal
Governor
favorite, it's
movie?
a tie between Kindergarten Cop.
It's not an action movie.
Yeah, it is. You better
It's
shut
just-
up.
It's a
He
comedy.
runs into a fire.
Fuck you.
And Total Recall.
Total Recall's sci-fi. Neither action movies. Neither.
Hey,
qualify.
guess what Predator was?
Crossover.
It's kind of like a sci-fi
No, it was
with
jungle based.
action elements. You son
If
of a
it's in
bitch.
a jungle,
definitely
it
action
can't be
movie.
sci-fi.
He had a minigun and grenade launcher. That doesn't happen in a...
Yeah, he mows down the whole jungle.
Okay, so
Green blood.
I think that. Okay, give me that like Total Recall was an action movie. That was totally action.
Okay, we'll give it to you. But you
All
can
right.
take Kindergarten Cop and you can.
No, shut up. So, okay, we'll just lean on Total Recall. That movie's full of one-liners. It's full of action. Lots of bullets being fired.
And the three-boobed lady.
Yeah.
Booted.
And the guy that has that Martian in his chest, he's like, Quaid,
I told you about what,
open your mind.
for Halloween I want to take my son and like put him on my chest.
Yeah.
Just put him on it.
Yeah, no, like put him on it and then to go as that guy with my son as the little guy.
Open your mind.
Quaid.
Or you could be that one bad guy from Ninja Turtles. Isn't there like a big
Oh,
giant?
Craig?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
His little pink thing inside.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So that one's like one of my favorites because not only does it like deal with the main character kind of like just going against everything that he like truly believed in, but it's like him also kicking some ass and taking names, right?
What is it? Can we talk about that expression? Why are we taking names? Do
So
we
you
just got to
can talk
remember
about-
later?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
When I get home and talk to my wife, I'd like to have conversation.
It's for the body counts.
I got David and Douglas and Peter.
Wow, you went alphabetical, huh?
I turned German too.
Oh.
David and Douglas and
Was that
What
what's
is
his
that?
name?
it's evolving.
Christoph Waltz.
Yeah, a little bit, huh?
David and Douglas and Peter.
Wow, that sounds like Dutch.
Petre.
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 And the other cool part about it was kind of like some of like the futuristic elements of like, you know, creating an atmosphere on Mars.
The scene where the fat
the
chick's head
hologram.
opens and he comes out. Yeah.
Or when that
like-
guy's
like-
head
like-
just like melts when he gets outside into the atmosphere.
Yeah,
Schwarzenegger.
Cohagen.
Schwarzenegger does that too at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
With
his
the end-
eyeballs are bulging out of his skull.
Fuck. Fuck. This hurts. Fuck.
My eyeballs coming out sucks.
So, are we closing the chapter on Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, let's
I'm okay with that.
move it along.
Well, the next one I have here is a really good movie, Mad Max. The new one, specifically, is the one.
Oh,
that
Mel
I've seen.
Gibson. The new one.
Yeah, the new one.
It's a feminist, very pro-feminist movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty feminist.
I'm surprised
She
you
was
like
the
that.
hero. Tom Hardy looked like a pussy for most of the
He
movie.
did.
But I'm just
And
talking.
she was the badass.
I'm
Definitely
just
was.
talking about the action scenes, like in
Furiosa.
general. The
Progression.
The car scenes are some of the best I've ever seen in any movie.
Yeah, it was very well done.
Like the part where the
T2 had better car scenes.
Terminator.
Yeah.
that one where he's getting chased by the fire truck. Was it a fire truck on the
No.
motorcycle?
No,
It was a
semi-truck.
semi-truck.
Okay,
Motorcycle.
that and it was through the LA River. It was pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're going back to Terminator. Let's-
But that part where the truck pulls up on the side and there's like an engine block on the bottom, and then on the top it's like the swinging dude with a chainsaw, and they just keep swinging in and slicing it with the chainsaw.
yeah, that was a very inventive movie. The guy with the guitar.
Yeah,
That's
shooting
my favorite
fire.
character. For the longest time, I couldn't tell if I really liked that character or hated him.
I
I know I
liked him.
flip-flop a lot, but I officially say I like the guy.
You know what? I don't like the guy. Just kidding.
No, I love the guy.
I was imitating you.
Oh.
I love the guy.
Hey, I love the guy. What guy?
Coco.
There's some super badass parts in that movie where cars are crashing, and
Very action packed too. It's
Yeah.
kind of nonstop from start to finish.
it's funny. And even after that, like I went and saw it, and I was like, damn, that was a really good movie. And my wife was like, no, I'm not interested. And
I
I'm
had to
like,
warm up to
seriously,
it.
you should check it out. And surprisingly, my wife was like, wow, that was like really good.
Does she not like action movies?
She's not huge on action movies. I mean, I guess as much as I like musicals.
But you loved the musical last night.
I did. I
What?
watched some. I watched the Greatest Showman.
The Life of Ring Brothers, Barnum and Bailey.
Okay, so what's the next
Barnum.
movie?
It was a great movie.
John Wick.
Oh, I love it. That was the best action movie of the last 10 years.
Way better than like James Bond bullshit.
And the thing
You know?
is, in like the Bourne movies, like
Yeah.
all 38 of them,
Because John Wick almost felt believable.
it wasn't just I agree, 100%. But both John Wick 1 and 2, it was just like, it's so fun. I had so much fun.
Except for when the dog died.
That was
But
stupid.
it set the tone.
Yeah,
you
you're
were like, motherfuck those Russians. Save
Did you
that.
guys see the...
They were Romanian.
That's gonna go on a cart, yeah. Did you guys ever see the... Sorry, I'm making note here. The notes
he goes
that
again.
Ben
Wait, are you
hates.
trying to get off John Wick? Have you seen
No,
John
no,
Wick?
no. Did you guys see the YouTube clip of a guy parodying John Wick with a Nerf gun fight?
Yes, and it was very well done.
Epic.
No,
Very
I
epic.
don't know.
You should watch that.
Go
It's-
out there, search in YouTube, John Wick Nerf gun.
It's like 6 or 7 minutes too. It's like
Yeah.
a long
Oh, yeah.
video.
It's wonderful.
But no, John Wick. It did the best job of making you on his side when they killed that dog.
Yeah.
You wanted him to murder violently every single person in that crew. I love it. We've talked about this before because, as Jay would say, one of his favorite lines of mine, fuck, it's Ben. That guy that would walk in a room and we walked in, you're like, oh no. That movie encapsulated that because, like, anytime you'd hear his name, how would people react? They'd be like, fuck, it's John Wick.
Yeah. They'd be like, he's back in the game.
Yeah, and they'd be nervous.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So if it was Scott, how would they react?
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
Scott's back?
Good for him.
So let's reenact this.
He must have
It's Scott.
Neat.
All right, now, Scott, let's reenact this as if it were Ben. It's Ben.
Neat.
You just same thing with a higher pitched voice. I love it.
Yeah, great.
That's super. You should have said neato.
Well, like he and the action scenes are so good, and Keanu Reeves is also a badass, and I just love him as an actor and like as a human
person.
being. Yeah,
Nice guy.
super good guy. He donated like most of the money he made for the second 2 Matrixes to like cancer research, and he's had a really difficult life. He just rides the subway like he's a normal
Lost
dude.
the love of his life.
Yeah.
Like tragic, man.
Yeah.
Trinity died?
Shut up.
Trinity!
Shut up about the sun.
Well, okay, so if we're going to talk about Keanu Reeves, I think that the best movies to kind of reference in the whole action movies debate here or conversation is Speed and The Matrix. Matrix is like mostly a sci-fi, but there are action elements in it because of the Wachowski.
Definitely.
Some important action elements that kind of set the tone for future movies.
Slow-mo.
Excellent.
Trendsetter with the bullet time, the 360 cams,
Yeah,
the
the
running
360
around
cam.
on walls. Like
Have you guys ever seen a 360 cam rig? They're pretty badass.
No.
I've seen video. I've not like in person.
Basically, like usually it's not totally 360. It'll be like 280, and it's just a bank of cameras all the way around. And they do one shot. He just does it once. It's just they switch camera to camera to camera to camera all the way around basically a crescent.
Is it like motion activated?
No, they
Or
just
they
all
all-
run at the same time,
okay.
and then they
They
put
splice
it
them
together.
together?
At the end. Yeah.
that must be hard
Well
to
done.
splice all that together.
Yeah,
It's
well
not- it's
done.
not easy. Jeez.
Hey there.
It's not an easy shot to do, that's for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
For sure.
And not to mention that Matrix movie was badass. Like the idea
first one?
behind it. Yeah, the idea behind it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, maybe we do live in a Matrix.
Maybe.
Who's to
I
say we
hope.
don't? Me too.
I
Or at
kind
the
of hope
end,
so,
they
too.
just like pull us out and they're like, "Oh yeah, sorry, you're just energy for a robot, you bitch."
We've been harvested.
Yeah, but there's not that much electricity that comes from a human body, so we'd be
Yeah.
the shittiest batteries.
It wasn't very practical, but it
was
was a cool
stupid.
idea, fun idea.
Yeah.
But
Speed.
if you have no sun and nothing, it's.
Why did what happened to the sun? Did they just block it out?
The guy.
I think they say there's a great war.
Yeah, I think some guy like lit off an EMP or something like that.
Well, no, I think there's a great war in humans, and the robots like became self-aware and started like killing people.
He said they
Automation.
scorched the sun.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
what
don't
they
remember what that means.
Yeah, I don't know if it went into it.
Yeah. Well, anyways, okay, let's talk about Speed. There was a fair amount of action that took place on a bus.
I was-
Dennis Hopper.
I always felt really bad because that one lady's like, "I'm getting off the bus,"
And she-
steps on that bottom.
She got toasted.
Yeah, that bottom stair, and she steps on it, and he blows it, and she just falls right under the bus. And you're
Hey,
like, "Aw."
what about Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off being in that movie? He was one of the most unlikable characters in that movie,
Was he
aside
on the
from
bus?
Dennis Hopper. Yeah, he was the guy that made all the weird faces, and he was like making a biggest deal about everything.
Well, to be fair, it's probably a nerve-wracking situation. You're not really worried about what people think about you.
Yeah, that's
I'm,
true.
I'm pretty annoying right now. I
That,
don't
you
care.
know what? That bus driver too. He has a very odd look to him.
Dude, I really can't remember that movie. I haven't seen it in years.
It's like 1995, right?
Yeah.
All I remember is Dennis Hopper's head getting knocked off.
Yeah. Man, that was
Rolled
gross
off.
too. Well, and then that was after didn't the dye pack go off on him too?
I can't
Can't remember, dude.
that.
I don't remember that movie. Worth
So-
a
I remember
shit.
they jump at one point, and Sandra Bullock's in it.
Yeah, and she
Oh,
bashes
I
her
forgot about
forehead.
her.
Man, that was a very likable Sandra Bullock too.
She was in what, her 20s?
Dude, she was very pretty back
She's like
then.
85
She's
now.
pretty new.
I know, but she was
She's
very
aged
pretty
well.
back then.
She's such a normal-looking lady. Like,
She is.
yeah.
She looks like she'd be nice.
she's like the epitome of like a pretty, not hot, not beautiful, gorgeous, just pretty white woman.
Yeah.
Show me pretty white woman. Oh, look, Sandra Bullock. Her name's Sandra.
He just pointed up in the sky
Survey
like Family
says-
Feud. Yeah, like Family Feud.
well, we're just talking about.
Sandra Bullock.
There it is. You
There's
can
Number
see me.
3 answer.
Point, yeah.
We need a camera.
Wait, who's number 2 and 1?
She's number 1.
Oh, okay.
Number 2 is Julia Roberts. Number 3
Okay.
is...
What's the name of John Krasinski's wife? Emily Blunt.
Oh, it
man,
would be
she's
Pam. It would be
super,
Pam.
She's
It
super
would-
pretty.
Yeah, Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
Just a normal.
God, now I just want to talk about A Quiet Place. Damn it. Let's not. That's
I
way too new.
haven't seen it.
Such a good
Spoiler
movie.
You
alert.
need to watch
Super
A
good
Quiet
movie.
Place. That's your
So
objective this
let's
week.
move on from Keanu Reeves and let's move on to a little guy by the name of Sylvester Stallone.
He is little. He's
Yeah.
a tiny guy.
He is terribly tiny.
Tiny guy. Oh, dude, talk about lines that are memorable. The new Rambo.
Yeah, dude.
That Rambo was like maybe the the best, maybe the best one. First Blood was awesome.
Dude, it was gory. It was like as gory as it gets. When
but
they're
it was
throwing,
a
like, kids in
political
the fire and
statement
stuff.
too.
Yeah.
When he like gets behind that 50 cal and just starts mowing down all those guys. Oh wait, no. The part where he rips that guy's throat out for having sex with that, or trying to have sex with that little boy. Holy crap!
it was awesome.
Justice served.
I love how the
Cold.
dude pulls up in the car and he's like in the driver's seat and he just jumps on the 50 and aims the gun at the guy and then
What about the bald guy? He was like, "Boatman stays here."
The mercenary.
Like, yeah.
I don't know about you guys. It was my first action movie I've ever masturbated to. It was that good.
Wow.
Oh, is that weird?
Rambo?
Yeah, it was really good.
Wait, the latest Rambo movie?
Yeah, as he's shooting everyone. Oh, yeah.
You masturbated to that?
Well, yeah.
I think technically the movie's called
As
John.
one
It's called
does.
John Rambo.
What's
Is
that?
it?
Isn't it?
No, it's called Rambo.
It's called Rambo.
Because the first one was called First Blood, and then you got Rambo 2, and then Rambo 3, and then Rambo.
The newest one was the best.
Yes, and then there's a rumor out there that there will be a new Rambo where Rambo officially dies against the Mexican cartel.
That's gonna be awesome. I hope it happens.
Yeah, me too.
But let's talk about the fun line. So one of my favorite lines is when he's accepting he's got to go get these people out because he boated all the Christian folks. Lesson for you Christians: stop meddling in business of others. This is what happens. You go to Burma. Burma's safe now.
Ben.
Well, yeah. And then he's sharpening his machete and he's talking about how all the shit he's done in his life. And then the last line is, "When you push, when you push."
Why do you sound like Assy McGee?
You push, and then when the chick's like, "This isn't just about us; it's about the world," and he just like stops and looks at her. You fuck the world. I love that line. In that movie.
One of my friends said that he looked like a washed-up lesbian in that.
Oh, whatever.
He kind of did.
You ever seen a lesbian with shoulders like that? I have.
Yeah. What, are you serious, or
They
was
live
that
in
a joke?
Portland.
You guys know Yakety Sax? You know that song?
No.
If you should go online and look up Rambo Yakety Sax, and it's just a compilation of like all the kids dying.
It's like Benny Hill music?
Yeah, with the
my God.
Benny Hill music, and there's like people were like ah. And
Oh, when the Burmese army comes to that village,
yeah,
he throws a baby in the fire.
that music behind it just kind of makes it hilarious.
That one main guy who he ends up chopping halfway in half. That was pretty cool. He like hits him and it goes all, and then he kind of like falls into two pieces. He goes to the village and he's like, "Hear me, believe me, and fear me." I love that line.
And then, I don't know, to tie this back to video games, isn't it weird to see like a lot of elements of Rambo being reproduced in Metal Gear? Because you got Colonel Campbell that's very, very based off of Colonel in Rambo.
I don't know. I can't.
And then
cross-reference them. I don't know.
Snake wears the bandana just as Rambo does. And then just as Rambo does in the movie when he is shooting like any sort of like saw or machine gun or anything like that, he screams just like Snake does. Isn't that weird?
Snake does,
I've
and
never met the parallel.
I never noticed a parallel either.
Or is it perpendicular? No, parallel. That's right, because they ran along the same street.
Yeah.
And they won't cross.
Yep.
No, that'd be true. I tell you that much.
So First Blood was good too, by the way.
First Blood was awesome. When he like is stitching himself up, that's the most badass thing I've ever seen
I
in
don't
an
remember
action
which
movie.
episode or which one it's in.
It was
he
believable.
Goes to like, it's like some mansion in the
Afghanistan?
jungle or something.
Oh,
Probably
that's,
the second one.
yeah, that's when
and
they're
he
in
just has the
Saigon.
M60, and I swear it's like 35 seconds of him just like, and he's just holding the chain of the machine gun,
Yeah.
and it just never ends.
Yeah.
But it's only like 10 rounds long, but he just keeps running it.
Well, it's cool because the first one was the Northwest, the second one was Saigon, the third one was Afghanistan before the war.
Yeah.
Because they were fighting the Russians, who
Yeah.
were fighting the Afghans. He was on the side of the Afghanis. What a turn of events.
So is America.
Who would have known?
I know. We supplied them with the weapons that we eventually had to fight them with. But First Blood, the thing I liked about that, it was him versus the real world. He came back as this, he was
Couldn't
this
adjust.
badass who killed he killed crazy amounts of people in the Vietnam War. He comes back, and that was in the era the Vietnam War soldiers were just like despicable to people, like the hippies and stuff. And these cops were like, "You fucking drifter, get out of here, drifter."
They treated him like subhumans.
Yeah, what the fuck was that all? That's weird. But yeah, and then they just keep pressing him, and he kicks ass. And that was a cool thing, that Rambo was the anti-hero in that movie, because he's fighting cops. He's fighting...
Who would have known that would have been, like, adapted into a saga?
Yeah, I don't think they planned on it. That's why they didn't call it Rambo.
Well, and then the other cool thing about that whole entire saga is that at the end of a Rambo, you finally get to see him go back and become a human, and he's like trying to find his humanity along that long, lonesome stretch of road.
I don't think he can.
He tried to. What was he? He was trying to go back to his dad's house.
At the end of the fourth one, because in First Blood he goes to his best friend that died, his mom's house, and then the second one, I don't really. Dude, 2 and 3 were kind of corny. Like they were okay. But then the
well, I mean, they were definitely not the strong ones. First Blood and Rambo were definitely the strong ones.
Yep. All right, boys, what's next?
The kind of last one I have on my list is a little Con Air action.
Oh,
Nick Cage!
You could do Con Air and The Rock. We can
And
combine
Face
those.
Off.
I love when he's like,
shit.
he's reading that my daddy will be home on July 14th.
Put the bunny in the bag.
God damn it, Nick Cage. You
God.
son of a bitch.
And
Son of
then
a turkey.
He's forever immortalized in GIF form when the wind hits his face when they land the
He's like-
plane. Yeah, you see that wind running through his disgusting greasy hair. It's
God,
fantastic.
Dude, Con Air was so fucking good. Cyrus the Virus, what a cool
Cyrus
villain.
the Virus. Oh man, John Malkovich, one of the best villains of all
Seriously.
time. Because even him in in the Line of Fire was awesome.
Steve Buscemi was amazing in that movie too.
He was just
'Cause
crazy.
He's a pedophile, wasn't he?
They land and then they leave him and they take
Yeah.
off and he's just
He's hanging out with
still
that
at the
little
trailer.
girl.
Yeah,
trailer park.
the end of the movie, he's playing craps in
Yeah.
Vegas. Yeah, and then you had Danny Trejo was the rapist.
Yep.
He got his arm at the end. That's how you know he's dead.
What was his name? Johnny 13 or something like that?
so.
Johnny
Someone
26
catches
or
someone
something?
on fire.
Ving Rhames was in it.
Who's that guy with the handlebar mustache? It's like a villain in everything.
No one knows his name. He was driving the fire truck when they get there,
Yeah.
I think, and he ends up dying. And then the way they off John Malkovich when he gets thrown off the fire truck, just Looney Tunes lands on the fucking assembly line, and then gets compacted with the press that smashes
Compacted.
cars. It was funny. That was such a cartoony villain way to die. He's like, ah, boom. Thank God. And he looks up and
Yeah.
it's like, no. Bye, Cyrus.
Please do all the
Who's
sound
cop?
effects for
Who's
us.
the cop in that movie?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, it was John Cusack,
Yeah,
bro.
John Cusack.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
that's what I said, dudes. John Cusack was in a kind of an action-y type of movie. I don't want to change subjects because I think we still have a lot of Nicolas Cage to cover. But do you remember Grosse Point Blank, where he plays a hitman that goes back to his hometown to go to his high school
It's
reunion?
more of a drama comedy.
Negative.
I remember the movie. It's not very actiony.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So, fuck that.
Okay, so
Face Off.
Based off
John
of Ray.
Woo, Doves.
That's it. Scott, turn his mic off.
Hey, why are we bullying me?
Why?
All right, go on.
About yeah, he's muted.
I can't hear myself.
Just kidding.
Oh, hey.
I'll
I
teach you to
always
act up.
remember that had to have been the weirdest thing to act for them. How they swap halfway through. They literally swap
Yeah.
roles halfway through.
Yeah. I thought the coolest part was when he was on the he woke up from his coma or something like that, and his face is completely off, and
the worst.
he was saying bravo with his face completely ripped off. It was crazy. He's smoking a cigarette like
With
that.
John Travolta's face. You're like, damn.
I just want to point out the absurdity of that movie and the concept of it because,
I want his face off.
he goes to sleep with his wife and she's like, Jesus, your dick is huge. Where did you get that?
Did she say that?
No, I'm saying that's
Oh.
probably what happened. And they have different hairlines. They have
Yeah.
different, there's nothing
Different body
similar about John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. And that goes to show you, if you just switch your faces, the whole thing gets fixed. So if you and I switch faces, you would be a fat man, and I would be a Mexican. It's that easy. It's that easy.
Oh man.
But yeah, it was obnoxious. Shut up, audience! It was obnoxious that we would, their feet are different, their hands are different. Look at my hands versus your hands. You're very hairless, I'm very hairy, I have frog fingers, you have
talking-
small hands.
Talking about me?
No, but it would trick the U.S. government. They're like, wow, huh?
Hey, that's the same guy. Not even a scar or a stitch? What are we doing here? That movie was dumb, but I love
They
it.
send him straight to jail.
What was
This is
Castor
the
Troy's brother's name again? It was super annoying.
I don't remember.
Pollock Troy.
Pollock. Ugh. That's not a fish.
No.
You get it from the grocery
A pollock,
store,
yeah.
frozen pollock.
Oh, okay.
It's Gordon's yellow box fisherman coat.
I don't know. I'm Mexican, so I don't know.
You don't eat fish?
Not a pollock.
In Baja California, that's very popular.
A pollock?
A pollock.
Yeah.
It's a pollock.
Anyways, so when they're in like the prison and that weird like off the grid prison too.
Yeah.
And then
super prison.
Yeah, Pollock finds out that Castor isn't really Castor, and then he lets him get the shit beat out of him, and that guy that gets put in the chair ends up saving Nicolas Cage.
It's been so long since I've seen this movie.
I know. So at the end of the movie, did he get his face back?
Yeah, he got his face back. Remember, he walked to the door, and the wife thought that she was seeing things because he played a trick on her, and like he didn't knock on the door.
That's fucked up. Like that's some trauma she's already going through. Like, hey, check this out, guys. He's just filming it.
Travolta's a kooky guy.
I'm amazed you remember so much of this stuff. Do you just watch these movies?
No, they've stored my memory banks.
I don't know if we've established this enough. Jay Eastwood is a very weird person.
No, I'm not. I'm normal.
Okay.
I'm a normal guy.
I'm normal.
Okay. But and then the final face off. The Rock.
Dude, it's been a long time since I've seen that.
It's you. You're the Rocket Man. I do those things freak me out as a kid. The thing where it's in the missiles, like the balls. And then in the beginning, when they kill that one dude, and like Ed Harris was like, "Thank you for your service," he's just getting his like skin melted off. Like, that was gross. I remember being a kid and being like, "This is disgusting." These balls.
I saw Ed Harris IRL.
That's going on a cart.
Where?
I saw play with him on it. It was actually
balls.
pretty cool. I was like 20 feet away from Ed Harris.
Did you touch him?
I
like,
could
what's
have.
up?
It was interesting. You walked into this play, and you know how normally if you go into a play, it's closed and nothing's happening?
Yeah.
He was just sitting on the stage smoking a cigarette and watching TV, and he didn't react to the audience or anything. People were walking around and talking. He's just watching this TV, his shitty old TV.
I got to get my shows in before the performance begins.
Yeah.
What else did you like about The Rock? You don't remember it?
No, I don't remember it as well.
God damn, that's one of the best ones.
That's the one movie I don't remember anything about.
They're they're in Alcatraz. You got Sean Connery. Real men fuck the prom queen.
Wow.
That was a scene. And he was I forgot the context of that speech, but real men fuck the prom queen. I'm Sean Connery.
Oh, Sean Connery.
Sean of Connery. I'm a Connery of Sean.
Do you remember the movie The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
I didn't like it. It was stupid.
I don't know why I just randomly thought about that.
Sean Connery was in it.
The last movie I have, period, RoboCop.
Oh,
Robot Cop.
Heater.
I like that one.
Heater.
Yeah.
They imagined. Do you remember that movie took place?
Detroit?
Yeah, and they thought it was going to be this Metropolis.
Yeah, I know. They thought it was going to be
Do you remember the police cars there? They were like these like really shitty Ford Tauruses that were like matte black.
Yeah,
terrible.
They had like these like really nice houses and stuff.
Yeah, Detroit was just a place to be, and now it's a shit hole.
And it had Red Foreman as one of the antagonists.
I'll buy that for $1.
He was the.
I'll buy that for $1.
He was the main guy.
Yeah.
He was, and then they had that giant robot dog thing.
That was cool.
And the trick was you just tripped it up, and it was done.
Yeah, I know. Go down some stairs.
Oh fuck! You found my weakness. That was all it took. But we were talking about this earlier. Best scene in I think movies from that era. The guy's being a creep. Mm-hmm. Oh, I fucking ruined it. Anyway, he's being gross, and he's like molesting this girl, and then he shoots him in the dick, and he goes, "Your move, creep." And that line is awesome.
Well, that's right outside the gas station.
Yeah, he just pulls up. What's going on here?
He's the best. Although it's a little creepy when he takes his helmet off, and you can see his face.
Yeah, he looks like a...
Talk about a 5-head.
Also, the scene where he like dies or almost dies is super brutal.
Yeah, dude, they shoot him like 100 billion
times.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Your move, creep. And then the scene where the guy gets exposed to toxic waste and he instantly becomes a mutant.
Yeah.
He's like, how, bro? They hit him and he just explodes.
They run him over with the car. I forgot about that. Like little.
He smashes like Play-Doh, right?
Yeah, it's legit. Like, he comes out of the pile.
They did make that scene out of Play-Doh, though, right?
Did they?
I don't know. I was just kidding.
That is not.
It looked literally like an exploding watermelon.
Watermelon. I love the movie. Good call.
What about Jean-Claude Van Damme movies?
Bloodsport.
I never watched any of those.
Bloodsport.
The reason I got my teeth kicked out of my face when I was in 10th grade.
Really?
My friend, I just gotten my braces off, and my friend, there's a scene in Bloodsport, where he slaps his knee twice, and then Van Damme rushes him, or maybe the opposite. And then
Ray Jackson.
Yeah, and then he smushes his face into his knee.
Yeah.
And my friend, we were play fighting, and he went, and I hadn't seen the movie, so I rush him, not thinking he's going to knee me in my fucking head. And he grabs the back of my head and just completely obliterates my mouth. All 4 of my front teeth went almost at like a hat. What do you call that degree angle when you go from this
90.
to this?
90.
Is that 90?
Yep.
Yeah. So they went straight up into the top of my mouth.
The roof of your mouth.
I had to put my middle finger on my temple and my thumb on my tooth and push all my teeth back into place because they were so loose from being fresh out of braces. And my mouth, it looked like someone slit their throat in my mouth. I was just like, oh, yeah. And Arnold, in my mouth. And then I took my retainer and I shoved it back in, and then my 4 front teeth were brown for 12 months.
Oh my god!
I received no pussy, none.
I'm still a virgin.
I was too young anyway. I was in like 10th grade. I received pussy in 11th grade.
Brown? You're lucky they're okay.
I know. My gums turned solid purple. I looked like a fucking tweaker.
Do you have any pictures of it?
No, I was very embarrassed. I refused to take photos for that 12-month period.
Her pussy.
But anyway, Bloodsport. What'd you think?
Loved it. Beginning to end. It's based on a true story, too, which is the cool part about that whole thing. I thought the funny thing was that, Forrest Whitaker and some old dude are the federal agents that are, like, trying to get Frank Dukes back to the United States. But Frank Dukes is played by a guy who's from Belgium.
Is he Belgian?
Yeah.
I thought he was Austrian.
No, Muscles from Brussels. That's his nickname.
In the movie or, like, real life?
Who?
Van Damme.
Van Damme is from...
Van Damme it.
Van Damme is from Belgium.
Belgium.
And then Frank Dukes is, like, from the United States, I thought.
Fun fact.
And then he participates in the Kumite, and this is his, like, last hurrah before he has to get detained for some strange reason that nobody ever knows about. Like, I don't remember why he was trying to be detained. But, I don't know. And then the antagonist, Chong Li, that guy's a hard ass. I've never seen a more muscular Asian dude in my life.
I have.
Oh. No, Chong Li was way bigger. In fact, Chong Li was actually in a Bruce Lee movie. I think he was in like I don't know, I can't remember which one, but it was one of them.
Why can't I think of any other Van Damme movies? Street Fighter.
Oh, are you forgetting Lionheart?
I never saw it.
Oh, dude, Lionheart was tight. It was all about it's kind of the same story actually. So Van Damme is on the run from like the French government, and he goes to the United States to like see his widow, like his brother's widow, and he's going to participate in these like street fights to pay for his like niece and her mother to get along, and then all of a sudden like he turns out he's really good at fighting, so he beats the shit out of everybody, and he stands to make all this money, and the French government has to detain him.
When's the last time you watched that movie?
Decade, at least.
Dude, that's insane that you remember all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't.
Later.
Yeah, every time you guys make fun of me, I store it in my memory banks.
Remember on October 12th when you said that? 5 years ago?
No, that was an excellent movie. If you guys like Bloodsport, you would love Lionheart. It's
like
super awesome.
Seems like it would motivate me.
Yeah. And then there were like there's this one scene where they're fighting in like a parking garage, and Van Damme like just beats the shit out of everybody, and like bodies are being thrown on these like these expensive like luxury cars or like sports cars and breaking like windshields and stuff. It's awesome.
Only bodies.
Only bodies.
And then the only other one I can think of, Scott, are you yawning?
Yeah, I'm tired, man.
Jesus Christ.
Got a baby.
Oh, it's always the baby.
Yeah. Oh no, that was Scott. That wasn't the baby.
Nailed it.
You got me.
Steven Seagal.
Oh man, have you seen Urban Justice?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What about where he like encounters those two thugs outside of I think it's a hotel or something like that, and they're like, "You in the wrong hood, man!" And then he finally gets a guy in like a sleeper hold or like some sort of hold, and he was like, "El Chivo, tell me who killed my son." And he has like an like a faint Ebonic dialect this entire movie, which is ridiculous. Me and my girlfriend
Spanish.
bonded over this movie, by the way. That was like one of our first movies we watched.
There's one where he is out in like West Virginia, and he like encounters these mountain men, and they're like, they have this undercover like drug and like, gun operation, and they're like, "Hey, tough guy, you got a problem? Why are you in our city?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?"
That's perfect.
There's always people accosting others in action movies.
What about Seagal and Machete? He was awesome. What was his name again?
Fat, washed up Steven Seagal.
No, it was like Torres or something, right?
Yeah, it was something like that.
He's a Texas Ranger in real life, isn't he?
And he's
he works in New Orleans as a volunteer or like a part-time cop.
like a U.S. Marshal or something.
I don't know if you know this about me, but in my free time, I'm a police officer in New Orleans.
They practice his Aikido.
Aikido.
Well,
bullshit?
in Machete, he was like, "Ole carnal," and he says like all these like Spanish things, and then he like proceeds to try to kill Machete with these like katanas. It's the strangest. Yeah, it's the strangest character.
Japanese Mexican, duh.
I'm a Japanese Mexican white man.
Okay, so hey, I before we wrap up, I want to retract, and I do want to talk about one last film. Unless you guys have after that.
No, I'm good.
I retract Predator. I still think it's one of the greatest movies of all time. But if I'm going strictly on action movies, my favorite action movie.
Die Hard.
You ready?
Well, I'm ready.
I'm looking.
Yeah,
at
I'm ready.
Yeah, this is fabulous radio.
Shut up! I was being funny. They're gonna love the silence. It gives them. It's called Jackie Chan's First Strike.
Yeah. What about Mr. Nice Guy?
No, Jackie Chan's First Strike. He fights sharks. He fights like 3 sharks, and then he has that song where he's getting undressed, and this guy comes up behind him with a gun. And he's like, keep singing, because they have a mic, and he's like, I will follow you, wherever
He's
you
a fabulous
may go.
singer.
There's no ocean too deep, can keep you away from me or my destiny. That was sped up. I really like that song. It made me happy as a kid. I would sing it everywhere I went at the markets.
Wow. At the markets.
And yeah, he fought a shark. And then
He fought a shark.
He didn't fart a shark, he fought
So you said.
All right, I'm done.
West Virginia.
Wait. So, we haven't mentioned any Bruce Willis. He did Die Hard, he did Fifth Element, which was the sci-fi, and he did 12 Monkeys, which is also sci-fi, but there were a lot of like action elements in that.
I just watched that new movie Death Wish he was in. Well, it's a remake. But
But Eli Roth made it. Eli Roth kind of sucks.
yeah, dude, after I watched it, I was like, dang. And it popped Eli Roth, I was like, oh.
God, every movie he makes lately, I'm like, this just sucks.
It wasn't that good.
He's so
But what
over
about
the
all
top.
the Die Hards, though?
Die
Well,
Hard.
the
He
first
Well, he
ones.
would make. We're talking about Eli Roth. He didn't make. Did he make that? He didn't make
No, he didn't make it.
No, he was still a baby.
I'm talking about Bruce Willis,
that. I
though.
thought. No, it's pretty good. Bruce Willis is alright. He's a
Starring
good
Bruce
guy.
Willis as John McClane and Carl Winslow as that cop that everybody liked.
Is it the second one with Samuel L. Jackson? That's the best one.
Oh, yeah.
Third one.
The
What?
third one?
Was
That
it?
was the third one.
Yeah.
I can't remember the second one.
Where they
That,
have the
that
bombs
was
at the
in
school
like
and stuff.
it was in like a snowy land.
What?
The
Die Hard
airport.
2. Yeah, it was a because there was airplanes
The,
in
Yeah.
films.
the second one's at airport.
Third one, Samuel L. Jackson.
That's the best one. The first one was on.
The fourth one was good.
Eh.
I never saw the last one. The one where the guy who he fucked with all the traffic lights like in the
No.
world. That was cool.
Wait, the fourth one?
That's the one. That's the new one.
No,
With
the
the-
fifth one's a new one.
No, there are two new ones.
There's two new ones, but the fourth one is
Live Free, Die Hard, and then
with the Vengeance.
Die Hard with a Vengeance was the third, I believe.
Yeah.
Die Harder.
Die Harder was the second one. Die Hard with a Vengeance was the third one, and then Live Free, Die Hard. Okay,
They keep falling-
Ben's falling.
They just keep falling through glass. I can't deal with it. They just fall through
Live
glass.
Free or Die Hard 2007. Die Hard with a Vengeance with Samuel L. Jackson. A Good Day to Die Hard.
A
was
Good Day to Die
2013.
Hard sucked.
It was with his kid.
Live Free and Die Hard sucked because.
No, it didn't.
Shut up! Hang on.
That's the one where he drives the car off the
Yeah.
center barrier into a helicopter.
Michael Scott talked about this, and this is the best way I've ever heard this explained. The first three were just a regular guy overcoming like obstacles and saving the day with a fuckload of bullet fire or gunfire. And the next two, you see a guy running a car into the helicopter.
It's true.
Give me a fucking break.
Well, only thing I loved in Live Free or Die Hard, Timothy Oliphant was the main villain. And if I was gay, that's who I'd be gay with. He's such a hot dude. Like, he's the only dude I've ever seen. I'm like, that's a hot dude. I don't even like guys at all. He's a hot dude.
It sounds like you like this guy.
I'd probably be gay for this dude. It's something
Timothy
about
Oliphant.
him. I'm like, I want to switch teams for you, Bubba.
Wow.
Hey, if you're listening, what's his name?
Timothy Oliphant, I'll be gay with you.
Telephone.
You would like Ben.
He was in Justified, that cop show.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're
Ben,
talking
if you could
Danny
give like
McBride from The Office.
if you
Yeah,
could give a quick like 30 seconds, and just like tell why you would be the perfect mate for Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm extremely hairy. I sweat profusely. My asshole puckers up and explodes about once a year.
2 years though, right?
well,
Why do I know that?
I'm gonna give him more. I want to give him hope.
Sure.
I'm selling him right now. Hello. What else makes me a great gay lover? I can't. If I try
You
to
eat the butthole.
I'll lick your butthole. Just try to make yours not as hairy as mine. Every time I brush my teeth, I almost throw up, so I can only assume I'd be phenomenal with the dick in my mouth. I'm fat.
You've said that one.
Yeah. I just wanted to reiterate.
What's Cal even seen you?
Huh? She doesn't. She's going to leave me soon. It's fine. I'm going to date Timothy. It's okay. So there you go. Timothy, I'm here for you, bud. Let's have some butt fucking.
Well, on that note,
Scott, if you cut that out, I'm going to be upset.
I'm not cutting anything.
Scott, you better not cut that
I'm not
out.
cutting anything. Thank you, everyone, for being here today with us, where we talked a little bit about action movies, and my guess is you didn't remember any of the stuff we talked about because I didn't remember half of it.
Wow, I remember all of it.
It's amazing. You have like a crazy mind. I don't know how you remember all this.
A beautiful mind.
Yeah, I'm basically Russell Crowe.
So I guess we can do shout-outs.
Punch me.
Shout-out to
Shout-outs.
Patrick and Robbie. They always get a shout-out because they're our
Absolutely.
Patreons. Who else we got?
Javad, dude.
Yep.
I would like to give it.
on Facebook.
What's up?
I'm going to post a picture of him on Facebook.
Yeah, do it. I'd like to give a shout out to McFly. You know who you are. I would like to give a shout out to AC from the 503, officially getting married soon.
Shout out.
Heck freaking yeah. Give a shout out to my guys at Triple Option Sports, Radford, Jesse. You know who you are.
And then your guys' new podcast. You want to plug that?
Hey, Ben, plug that new one.
Mr. J. Eastwood and I are starting up a side podcast, or a separate podcast. We have a lot of fun. We make fun of each other. We watch videos.
We drink Four Loko.
We drink 1 4 Loko to begin with to get our mind going.
Just to clear my mind.
Yeah, it gets you creative. 1 4. That's doctors recommended. If you're
Yeah.
not writer's
It's a
block,
prescription Four Loko.
just drink a 4 Loko. You're gonna create. Anyway, and then we watch really obscure videos on the internet that we have meticulously searched for, and they're disgusting and funny, and just all around, it's a fun time. We are called the Feral Old Ladies, and we would love for y'all to listen. That'll be coming out next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, next week that's going to drop. We'll make sure to make a reminder.
Now
for
we
you.
have a deadline.
Yeah, I just know you have a
I
deadline.
did that on purpose.
It's been months.
Amazing grace.
It's one of our
This is one of our
Feral
guys.
Old Lady celebrities. Oh, and I would like to give a shout out. I wasn't ready. He's still going.
It's
That's
okay.
A long
It's
soundboard.
a very low volume soundbite.
I'll Mike Shinoda. Sure.
Mike Shinoda
Just move on.
from Linkin Park.
I just gave the shout out. I don't have to give you a reason. Move on.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, y'all.
Okay.
Thanks, y'all, for tuning in. See you next week.
Smell you later.
Bye. I did get a little sweaty. Sorry, buddy.
God, Predator over Terminator 2?
For sure.
Come on.
Come on.